A job can put money in your hand and still bury the gift God placed in your spirit. Please write that down. It can feed your body and starve your assignment. It can pay your bills and still rob your life. That is why some people are employed, but they are not alive. They have a title, but they have no fire. They have a badge, but they have no burden. They have a salary, but they have no song. Every Monday morning, millions of people wake up with their bodies leaving the bed, but their spirits staying under the covers. They go to work dressed well, smelling good, carrying a laptop, wearing a name tag, sitting in a nice office, and dying quietly. On paper, they are successful. In the parking lot, they are empty. In the meeting, they are respected. In the mirror, they are asking, is this all there is? Listen carefully. Exhaustion is not always because you are doing too much. Sometimes exhaustion is because you are doing what you were not born to do. You can sleep 8 hours and still be tired if your life is disconnected from purpose. A paycheck may sustain your body, but only purpose can keep your spirit alive. Survival asks one question, how do I get paid? Assignment asks another question, why was I sent? Those are not the same questions. Survival is concerned with food, rent, transportation, clothes, and retirement. Assignment is concerned with meaning, contribution, service, legacy, and obedience. Now, I am not against jobs. You need to eat. You need to pay your bills. You need to be responsible. But never confuse the thing that pays you with the thing that defines you. Your employer did not create you. Your company did not manufacture you. Human resources may have processed your documents, but they did not process your destiny. Before they gave you an employee number, God gave you an assignment. Before they printed your business card, God planted a gift. Before they interviewed you, heaven already knew why you were necessary. This is why many people are frustrated. They are not lazy. They are not ungrateful. They are not rebellious. They are misplaced. They have been trained to chase employment, but never taught to discover deployment. So they keep changing jobs, changing departments, changing cities, changing supervisors, and still carrying the same emptiness with them. Why? Because location cannot cure a purpose problem. The Apostle Paul gives us a powerful picture. Near the end of his life, he said, I have finished my course. He was not ready to die because he was tired. He was not ready to die because people had hurt him. He was not ready to die because prison was hard. He was ready because he had completed the assignment. That is success. Success is not just having enough money to retire. Success is finishing what you were born to start. You should not be asking only, when can I stop working? You should be asking, what work must I finish before I leave the earth? Because death is not a tragedy when purpose is complete. The tragedy is to be buried with books unwritten, songs unsung, businesses unbuilt, children unmentored, inventions undeveloped, communities unreached, and wisdom unshared. So stay with this teaching, because we are going to separate your job from your work. We are going to separate your income from your identity. And if you sense God calling you out of mere employment and into purpose, subscribe and keep walking through this with me. And I want you to write in the comments, I was born for more than survival. Because you were. You were not born just to make a living. You were born to make a difference. Now this brings us to the root, because many times what you call job dissatisfaction is not really a job problem. It is an identity problem. The job is only exposing the emptiness that was already there. The supervisor did not create it. The salary did not create it. The office did not create it. The promotion did not create it. The job only gave you a place to discover that something deeper in you is still unanswered. Please write this down. Frustration is the voice of unused purpose. Very important. Frustration is not always a sign that you should run. Sometimes frustration is a sign that something inside you is unemployed, even while your body is on payroll. Your gift is sitting in the back room of your life saying, when are you going to use me? Your assignment is knocking on the door of your spirit saying, you were born for more than this. That is why the paycheck comes, but peace does not come. That is why the title changes, but the tension remains. I have discovered that every human problem is connected to 5 questions. These questions control the human race. They control your decisions, your relationships, your ambitions, your fears, your confidence, your jealousy, your depression, your anger, your success, and your failure. Number 1, who am I? Number 2, where am I from? Number 3, why am I here? Number 4, what can I do? Number 5, where am I going? If you cannot answer these questions, life becomes experiment. You try this, you try that, you join this, you leave that, you wear this, you buy that, you become what people clap for, and then you wonder why applause cannot heal you. Who am I? That is the question of identity. Where am I from? That is the question of source. Why am I here? That is the question of purpose. What can I do? That is the question of potential. Where am I going? That is the question of destiny. These 5 questions are hiding behind your dissatisfaction. You thought you were upset because your manager does not appreciate you. Maybe so. You thought you were upset because your salary is too small. Maybe so. You thought you were upset because the company culture is poor. Maybe so. But listen to me carefully. Until you know who you are and why you are here, every job will eventually feel too small. This is why people run from job to job. They are trying to answer a purpose question with a paycheck. They say, if I can just make more money, I will be happy. Then they make more money and discover that money can buy a better bed, but it cannot give you rest. Money can buy a bigger house, but it cannot give you a home inside yourself. Money can buy clothes with somebody else's name on them, but it cannot give you identity. So you wear the designer, drive the car, post the picture, update the profile, and still feel unknown to yourself. Tell your neighbor, a paycheck cannot answer my purpose. Come on, tell them. A paycheck can answer your bills. It cannot answer your birth. Your birth is too big for a salary. Your destiny is too big for a position. Your value is too big for a performance review. Never let an employer become your creator. Never let a title become your identity. Never let a degree become your definition. Never let a salary become your measure. Never let social approval become your mirror. If people gave you your identity, people can take it back. If a company gave you your worth, termination can destroy you. But if God gave you your identity, no man can fire you from yourself. Some of you are nervous because you have been introduced by your job for so long that you forgot your name. I'm a manager. No, that is what you do there. I am a nurse. No, that is one expression. I am an engineer. That is a discipline. I am a teacher. That is a function. But who are you when nobody hires you? Who are you when the badge is removed? Who are you when the office closes? Who are you when the business card expires? If you panic when the title is gone, then the title became your God. The first question God wants settled in you is not where do you work, it is who are you? Because if you do not know who you are, the world will rent you cheaply. Systems love people with no identity because they can use them, label them, transfer them, replace them, and make them feel grateful for being tolerated. But when a man knows who he is, you cannot reduce him to a cubicle. When a woman knows who she is, you cannot imprison her in a paycheck. She may be employed there, but she is not owned there. He may serve there, but he is not defined there. That is why you must go back to the manufacturer. The product does not define itself. The customer does not define the product. The store does not define the product. The label may describe it, but the manufacturer determines it. God is your source. Before your parents named you, God knew you. Before the school graded you, God gifted you. Before the company hired you, God assigned you. And if you do not return to the one who made you, you will spend your whole life asking created things to explain eternal design. So do not be surprised when dissatisfaction shows up. Sometimes dissatisfaction is mercy. It is God refusing to let you become comfortable in a life too small for your assignment. It is heaven disturbing your sleep because your purpose is still unemployed. It is the gift inside you protesting against being buried under routine. You thought frustration was your enemy. Sometimes frustration is the alarm clock of destiny. But here is the danger. If you do not interpret frustration correctly, you will make foolish moves. You will quit the job and keep the confusion. You will change companies and carry the same unanswered questions. You will move cities and still be lost. You will get married and ask another human being to give you meaning they were never designed to give. You will have children and put the weight of your unfulfilled purpose on them. No. You must answer the questions. Who am I? I am the image of God with a specific assignment. Where am I from? I came from God, not just from a family or a nation. Why am I here? I am here to serve a purpose that existed before I arrived. What can I do? I can release the gift God placed in me for the benefit of others. Where am I going? I am moving toward the completion of what I was born to finish. When these answers begin to settle in your spirit, your job loses its power to define your joy. You can work with excellence without worshiping employment. You can receive a salary without selling your soul. You can respect your boss without making them your source. This is the foundation. Before we talk about quitting, building, writing, launching, or leading, you must meet yourself. Not the resume self, not the LinkedIn self, not the church clothes self, not the social media self, the real self, the one God designed, the one purpose is calling. Because the place where your dissatisfaction is loudest may be the place where your assignment is trying to wake you up. Now listen carefully, because this is where your identity must become stronger than your employment. No manufacturer begins with a product and then asks, what should this be for? That would be foolish. Before the product is made, the purpose is decided. Before the shape is formed, the function is settled. Before the material is chosen, the intention is already known. Purpose always precedes production. Please write that down. Purpose always precedes production. Very important. Nothing is made until the maker has already decided why it must exist. So if you exist, it means purpose came first. God did not begin with your resume. God did not begin with your company. God did not begin with your boss. God did not begin with your salary requirement, your debt, your rent, your economy, your country, or your market value. God began with his purpose. Before your mother knew you were coming, God knew why you were necessary. Before your father saw your face, God saw your assignment. Before any school tested you, heaven had already gifted you. Before any company hired you, God manufactured you with something in mind. That means your purpose was not created by employment. Your purpose was installed by God before any employer ever met you. This is why you must stop allowing temporary systems to define eternal design. A company can hire your skill, but it cannot manufacture your meaning. A boss can assign your tasks, but he cannot assign your reason for being. Human resources can keep your file, but they cannot explain your future. Payroll can send money to your account, but payroll cannot tell you why you were born. You must go back to the manufacturer. In Genesis, the Bible says God created man in his own image. Now that statement is more powerful than most people understand. The last thing a manufacturer puts on a product is the image. They do not put the image first. First they conceive the product. Then they design it. Then they build it. Then they test it. Then when they are satisfied that it can do what they intended it to do, they put their name on it. When you buy a product and you see the name on it, that name means the manufacturer is taking responsibility for what they made. They are saying, this product represents me. They are saying, my reputation is on this. They are saying, I believe this product can perform according to its design. So when God put his image on humanity, God was not decorating you, he was certifying you. He was saying, this one carries my intent. This one carries my nature. This one carries my purpose in the earth. That is why you are not cheap. That is why you are not accidental. That is why you are not just an employee number. You carry the image of the manufacturer. Tell your neighbor, I carry God's image. Come on, tell him. And if you carry God's image, then you also carry God's intent. Image is not just appearance. Image is representation. God made you to represent something he wanted done in the earth. This is why God is invested in your success. Not success as the world defines it. Not just cars and houses and applause and followers. I am talking about success as completion of purpose. When a product fails, the reputation of the manufacturer is questioned. When a car keeps breaking down, people do not just blame the car. They ask, who made this? When a phone malfunctions, people do not just talk to the phone. They look for the company name. Why? Because the product carries the manufacturer's reputation. That means your life is bigger than your comfort. God's name is on you. His image is on you. His investment is in you. His purpose is inside you. And heaven is not casual about what God designed. You may have given up on yourself, but the manufacturer has not canceled the product. You may have been mishandled by people, mislabeled by systems, misjudged by family, rejected by companies, and ignored by people who did not understand your design. But none of that changed what God built into you. This is why opinions are dangerous when they come from people who did not manufacture you. Never ask someone who did not create you to define you. Never ask your pain to name you. Never ask your job to measure you. Never ask your past to predict you. Let God be true. Every other voice must be judged by the manufacturer's manual. When a product malfunctions, you do not ask the product, what are you for? The product may not know. You do not ask another broken product, what was I made to do? It may confuse you more. You return to the manufacturer and you open the manual. The manual tells you why the product exists, how it functions, what conditions it requires, what it must avoid, and what to do when it stops working properly. Some of you have been malfunctioning because you have been living without the manual. You've been letting culture program you. You've been letting fear guide you. You've been letting money direct you. You have been letting disappointment counsel you. No, return to the manual. Return to the word. Return to the one who made you. God is not confused about you. Heaven has never had a meeting to decide why you are here. Your design was settled before your birth. So when the job frustrates you, do not start by asking, who will hire me next? Ask, manufacturer, what did you build me to serve? When the company overlooks you, do not start by asking, what is wrong with me? Ask, Lord, what is still unused in me? When the paycheck is not enough to quiet the ache in your spirit, do not just ask for more money. Ask for more alignment. Because the tragedy is not that your job is small. The tragedy is when your understanding of yourself becomes as small as the job. The tragedy is when a man made in the image of God begs a position to tell him his value. The tragedy is when a woman carrying divine purpose waits for a supervisor to approve what heaven already authorized. You were manufactured before you were hired. You were gifted before you were trained. You were assigned before you were employed. And until you settle this, every workplace will either inflate you or crush you. But when you know the manufacturer, you can stand in any room with quiet authority. You can serve with excellence, but not with slavery. You can work under leadership, but not under false identity. You can receive instructions from a manager while receiving purpose from God. Your company may have hired you for a role, but God created you for a work. And the next thing we must understand is the difference between the two. Now, please write this down, because this is the distinction that will deliver many of you from confusion. Your job is an activity you perform for compensation. Your work is the deployment of your God-given gift for service. They are not the same thing. A job is what they hire you to do. Your work is what God designed you to release. A job is connected to a position. Your work is connected to purpose. A job is controlled by an employer. Your work is controlled by your assignment. This is why you must never let your job become your life. Your job may be necessary, but it is not eternal. Your job may be useful, but it is not ultimate. Your job may be a place of provision, training, discipline, exposure, and development, but your job is not the source of your identity. Your job is temporary employment. Your work is permanent assignment. You can retire from a job, but you cannot retire from your work. You can be fired from a job, but you cannot be fired from your gift. You can be replaced in a position, but you cannot be replaced in your purpose. They can take your desk. They can take your badge. They can take your parking space. They can take your email address. They can take your title off the door, but they cannot take what God placed inside you. They did not put it there, so they cannot remove it. Tell your neighbor, they can fire me from the job, but not from my gift. Come on, tell them. Because if you do not get this, one letter from a company can destroy your whole soul. One meeting with a supervisor can make you feel like your life is over. One layoff can make you question your value. Why? Because you confused employment with existence. You confused a contract with a calling. You confuse salary with significance. This is why people say, this job is killing me. Now listen carefully. Work does not kill you when it is aligned with purpose. Misalignment kills you. Doing the wrong thing for too long kills your joy. Living beneath your gift kills your passion. Spending all your energy maintaining what God never assigned you to become kills your spirit. It is not activity that destroys people. It is meaningless activity. It is activity without assignment. It is being busy but not becoming. It is being paid but not poured out. True work may make you tired, but it does not make you empty. There is a difference. When you are doing what you were born to do, you may work long hours, you may face resistance, you may carry pressure, you may solve problems, but something inside you comes alive because you are releasing what was trapped in you. That is why a person can spend 10 hours doing their purpose and feel fulfilled, but spend 2 hours in the wrong environment and feel drained. The issue is not always the hours. The issue is alignment. Have you ever noticed that when you are using your gift, time behaves differently? You forget to look at the clock. You forget to complain. You forget who is watching. You forget who is not clapping. Why? Because the gift is breathing. The assignment is moving. The real you is coming out. But when you are only doing a job that has no relationship to your design, you watch the clock every 5 minutes. You live for Friday. You mourn on Sunday night. You hate Monday morning. That is not life. That is a slow burial with benefits. Now, do not misunderstand me. I am not telling you to despise your job. I am telling you to define it correctly. If you define it correctly, you can use it wisely. A job can be a tool, but it must not become your tomb. A job can pay your bills while your work is being developed. A job can teach you discipline, excellence, management, communication, stewardship, patience, and service. But if you make the job your source, it will eventually demand worship from you. And anything you worship that is not God will enslave you. So the question is not only where do you work, the question is, are you being deployed? Are you merely being used by a system, or are you being deployed according to design? There is a difference between being used and being deployed. A system uses you for its goals. God deploys you for his purpose. A system asks, what can we get from this person? Purpose asks, what did God put in this person for the world? A system will use your energy until it is no longer profitable. Say, purpose will release your gift until it becomes fruitful. Many people are successful in a system, but failures in assignment. They climbed the ladder, but the ladder was leaning on the wrong wall. They got the promotion, but lost the person. They gained benefits, but buried the burden. They became valuable to the company and strangers to themselves. No, that is not success. Success is not being used until you are exhausted. Success is being deployed until your gift serves its generation. Your work is the thing you would still care about if no one gave you a title. Your work is the problem that keeps calling your name. Your work is the contribution your gift was born to make. Your work is where your ability meets human need. Your work is where your frustration becomes service. Your work is where your design answers a demand in the earth. So when you go to your job tomorrow, do not walk in as a victim. Walk in as a person under assignment. Say quietly in your spirit, this place is my temporary employment, but my work is bigger than this place. Serve with excellence. Learn everything you can. Honor authority. Solve problems. Be faithful. But never shrink your soul to fit the size of your position. You are not just looking for a job. You are discovering your work. You are not just waiting for a paycheck. You are carrying a gift. You are not just trying to survive another week. You are being called to release what God finished in you before you began. Now this is why purpose must become the governor of your plans. Because most people are planning their lives without consulting the reason they were born. They plan the degree, they plan the career, they plan the relocation, they plan the retirement, they plan the business card, the office, the salary, the house, the car, the vacation. But they never ask the most important question, Lord, what is your purpose for my life? Please write this scripture down. Proverbs 19:21 says, many are the plans in a person's heart, but it is the Lord's purpose that prevails. Read it slowly. Many are the plans, not one plan, many plans. You can have many plans in your heart and still miss the purpose of God. You can be organized and still be lost. You can have a calendar and still have no destiny. You can have goals and still have no assignment. Plans can organize your life, but only purpose can interpret it. From this one verse, I want to give you 3 laws. Number 1, purpose is more powerful than plans. Number 2, purpose is more important than plans. Number 3, purpose precedes plans. Very important. Write them down. Purpose is more powerful than plans. Purpose is more important than plans. And purpose comes before plans. Purpose is more powerful than plans because God says his purpose will prevail. That means your plans may be impressive, but they are not final. Your plans may be detailed, but they are not sovereign. Your plans may receive applause from people, but they still must answer to the purpose of God. You can resist purpose, ignore purpose, delay purpose, deny purpose, even get paid outside purpose, but purpose will keep troubling you until you come back to the reason you exist. That is why some of you are successful but not settled. You achieved the plan, but the ache remained. You got the promotion, but peace did not come. You bought the house, but the emptiness moved in with you. You changed the title on your profile, but the question in your spirit did not change. Why? Because plans can take you to a place, but purpose tells you why you are there. Purpose is more important than plans because a plan is only good if it serves purpose. A plan that does not serve purpose is a distraction with good organization. It looks wise. It sounds responsible. It may impress your family. It may make sense to your friends. It may even make money. But if it is not connected to why God sent you, then it is only a successful detour. Now listen carefully. The enemy of right is not always wrong. Sometimes the enemy of right is good. A good job can become the enemy of the right work. You hear what I said? A good salary can keep you comfortable outside assignment. Good benefits can become golden chains. A good office can become a beautiful prison. A good reputation can make you afraid to obey God because you do not want to lose what people admire. Some of you are not trapped by failure. You are trapped by success. Failure would have made you cry out to God, but success made you negotiate with disobedience. You say, but it is a good job. I know that may be the problem. If it were terrible, you would have left. But because it is good, you are using good as an excuse to avoid right. Tell your neighbor, good is not always God. Come on, tell them. Good is not always God. A thing can be good and still not be your assignment. Purpose precedes plans. This is the 3rd law. God does not bless plans that compete with his purpose. He blesses plans that are born from his purpose. Before you made a 5-year plan, God had an eternal purpose. Before you chose a career path, God had already placed a gift in you. Before you filled out the application, before you sat in the interview, before you accepted the offer, heaven already knew what you were carrying. So the question is not, do you have a plan? The question is, who authorized the plan? Did fear authorize it? Did poverty authorize it? Did your parents authorize it? Did comparison authorize it? Did embarrassment authorize it? Did culture authorize it? Or did purpose authorize it? Because if fear designs your plan will imprison you. If comparison designs your plan will exhaust you. If money designs your plan will purchase comfort and sell destiny. Many people ask God to bless what he never told them to build. They say, Lord, bless my career. Lord, bless my decision. Lord, bless my move. Lord, bless my plan. But they never stop and say, Lord, reveal your purpose. No, do not just ask God to bless your plan. Ask God to reveal his purpose. Because if he reveals his purpose, then your plans can become instruments. Your education becomes an instrument. Your job becomes an instrument. Your connections become instruments. Your money becomes an instrument. Your time becomes an instrument. Everything begins to serve the assignment. This is why Jesus never lived by opportunity. He lived by purpose. People tried to make him king before the time. He walked away. People tried to pull him into their agenda. He refused. Even good opportunities could not seduce him. because he knew why he came. When you do not know why you came, every opportunity looks like direction. But when you know purpose, you can say no to good things without guilt. Some of you need the courage to pray a dangerous prayer. Lord, interrupt every plan that is burying my purpose. Lord, expose every success that is keeping me outside assignment. Lord, deliver me from the life I built without consulting you. That prayer is not weakness, that prayer is wisdom. Because the safest place in life is not where the salary is highest. The safest place in life is where purpose is obeyed. So plan, yes. Be disciplined, yes. Save money, yes. Study, yes. Prepare, yes. But let purpose sit on the throne. Do not let your plan become your God. Do not worship the career ladder. Do not bow to the paycheck. Do not sacrifice your gift on the altar of comfort. Your plans may organize your days, but purpose must govern your life. And when your plans submit to God's purpose, even your job becomes preparation. Even your waiting becomes training. Even your frustration becomes instruction. And even your present season begins to serve what God finished in you before you were born. Now, this is the mystery of purpose. God does not start anything until he has already finished it. Please write that down. God finishes before he starts. This is why God is not experimenting with your life. God is not trying to figure you out as you go. God is not in heaven saying, let me see what this one becomes. No. Before he began you, he finished you. Before he formed you, he completed the intention. Before he placed you in time, he settled your end in eternity. The Bible says God declares the end from the beginning. That means when God begins a thing, he begins with what he already finished. He does not begin at the beginning. He begins at the end, then backs up and starts. This is why your birth was not the beginning of God's thought concerning you. Your birth was the beginning of your appearance, but not the beginning of your purpose. You showed up in time, but you came from eternity with something already completed in the mind of God. That means your future is not ahead of you. Your future is trapped within you. Are you hearing me? You keep looking down the road for what God hid inside your own design. You keep asking life to give you destiny later, but destiny was planted in you from the start. The world cannot give you your future. The world can only give you opportunities, jobs, titles, platforms, trouble, training, and resistance. But destiny came from God. Destiny is not manufactured by the market. Destiny is not produced by a company. Destiny is not awarded by a supervisor. Destiny is the finished work of God concealed inside the beginning of your life. This is why you must stop trying to invent yourself. The world tells you, create yourself, brand yourself, reinvent yourself. That sounds powerful, but it can be dangerous. You do not invent purpose. You discover purpose. You do not manufacture destiny. You uncover destiny. You do not become valuable because people finally notice you. You were valuable when God placed the end inside your beginning. Some of you are exhausted because you are trying to become something instead of discovering what you already are. You are trying on identities like clothes. You change careers, change cities, change circles, change styles, change language, change profiles, and still the ache remains. Why? Because the real issue is not change. The real issue is discovery. You cannot decorate confusion and call it destiny. You must return to the manufacturer and ask, what did you finish in me before I began? Now let me give you a clue. Sometimes the future trapped in you spoke the loudest when you were a child. Before fear educated you, before bills trained you, before disappointment silenced you, before adults told you be realistic, before poverty told you just survive, before school reduced you to grades, before culture told you what was impressive, there was something you cared about, there was something you imagined, there was something you kept doing without being paid. There was a burden, a desire, a picture, a problem that bothered you, a dream that visited you again and again. Do not despise that. Childhood is not always immaturity. Sometimes childhood is evidence. Jesus said, unless you become like a little child, you will not enter the kingdom. Why? Because children believe before systems bury them. Children imagine before fear edits them. Children speak desire before shame teaches them to be quiet. A child will say, I am going to build that. I am going to help those people. I am going to sing. I am going to teach. I am going to fix this. And then adults come and say that is not practical. So the child grows older, becomes practical, gets a job, pays bills, and loses the very dream that carried the purpose. Some of you did not lose your purpose. You buried it under realism. You became sensible and stopped being fruitful. You became responsible and forgot revelation. You became professional and abandoned the burden. I am not saying be foolish. I am not saying neglect your responsibilities. I am saying do not let survival become so loud that you cannot hear design anymore. Go back and ask yourself, what did I love before I learned to be afraid? What problem made me angry before I learned to be polite? What did I imagine before people told me what pays well? What did I keep practicing before anyone applauded? What need did I notice when everybody else walked past it? These are not small questions. They are clues. Your desire can be a clue. Your burden can be a clue. Your imagination can be a clue. Your recurring frustration can be a clue. Sometimes the thing that keeps irritating you is connected to the thing you were born to solve. You see, purpose is often hidden in what you cannot ignore. Other people can walk past it, but you cannot. Other people can laugh at it, but you cry over it. Other people can tolerate it, but it troubles you. Why? Because your assignment is calling from inside you. The finished work is pressing against the walls of your comfort. The end is demanding expression from the beginning. So stop asking only what is out there for me. Ask what is in here that God is trying to release. Stop asking only who will hire me. Ask what has heaven deposited in me. Stop asking only where is my future. Ask what part of my future have I buried under fear, practicality, disappointment, and survival. You are not empty. You are carrying something. You are not late. You are being awakened. You are not trying to invent a future. You are called to discover what God already finished in you. And when you find what he hid in you, you will understand why certain jobs were too small, why certain plans could not satisfy you, why certain successes still left you hungry. The hunger was not punishment. It was evidence. It was the future inside you refusing to die unemployed. Now please write this down. Your gift is the place where your work begins, not your title, not your salary, not your office, not the name of the company on your badge. Your gift. Because your work begins where your God-given gift meets a human need. A gift is a natural ability, a burden, a passion, a capacity, an instinct, a grace that God placed inside you to serve the world. It is not something you invented. It is something you received. That is why we call it a gift. You did not manufacture it. You discovered it. You developed it. You disciplined it. But God deposited it. Your gift is the thing that keeps showing up even when you are not trying to impress people. It is the thing you do with unusual ease, unusual endurance, unusual concern, unusual energy. It may be teaching. It may be organizing. It may be building. It may be solving. It may be writing. It may be healing. It may be designing. It may be leading. It may be making complex things simple. It may be seeing possibilities where everybody else sees problems. It may be bringing order where other people tolerate chaos. But listen carefully. Your gift is not only what you enjoy. This is where many people miss it. They say, I love this, so this must be my purpose. No. Enjoyment alone is not enough. Purpose is not selfish. A gift is not given merely for your entertainment. A gift is given for service. Your gift must solve a problem. Your gift must benefit somebody beyond you. Your gift must answer a need in the earth. That is why the question is not only what do I like, the question is who is helped when I use what I have? What pain decreases when I show up? What confusion becomes clear? What burden becomes lighter? What system becomes better? What person becomes stronger? What problem begins to move because my gift is present? That is where your work begins. Tell your neighbor, my gift is not just for me. Come on, tell him, my gift is not just for me. If God gave you a gift, he had somebody else in mind when he gave it. The tree does not eat its own fruit. The river does not drink its own water. The sun does not shine for itself. Your gift was designed to leave you and serve somebody else. If your gift never serves, it becomes a private treasure buried in fear. Now, this is why your job must become a platform for gift development, not a prison for gift suppression. Some of you are complaining about the very environment God is using to train your gift. You are angry because the job is not your final assignment, but you have not learned what the job is supposed to teach you. You are saying, I hate this place, but this place is teaching you discipline. This place is teaching you patience. This place is teaching you systems. This place is teaching you how people think. This place is teaching you excellence under pressure. Do not curse the classroom because it is not the graduation. Do not despise the season because it is not the destination. A job can become preparation if you know your work. But if you do not know your work, every job becomes frustration. Why? Because you are waiting for the job to give you what only purpose can give you. So stop cursing the job before you have identified the work. Stop saying this job is beneath me when you have not written down what is inside you. Stop saying they don't value me when you have not developed the value God placed in you. Stop saying I need to leave when you have not answered the question, what am I leaving to do? Complaint without discovery is immaturity. Frustration without responsibility is dangerous. You do not escape into purpose. You discover it, develop it, and deploy it. Let me give you some questions. Write them down. Number one, what do people consistently ask me for? Not once, consistently. What do they come to you for again and again? Advice, clarity, strategy, comfort, creativity, leadership, repair, prayer, planning, explanation. Sometimes people recognize your gift before you do. Number two, what problem makes me angry enough to act? Not angry enough to post, angry enough to act. What injustice troubles you? What confusion bothers you? What weakness makes you want to build strength? What disorder makes you want to create order? Your anger may be a clue if it is disciplined by love and converted into service. Number three, what can I do with unusual endurance? What can you continue doing when other people get tired? What burden can you carry without becoming bitter? What work makes you tired but fulfilled? Endurance reveals assignment. Some people can run for hours in a place where others faint in minutes because grace is different. Number four, what would I still pursue if applause disappeared? This is important because applause can confuse you. Likes can confuse you. Titles can confuse you. Money can confuse you. But when nobody is clapping, when nobody is calling, when nobody is impressed, what still burns? What still calls you? What still wakes you up? That may be your work. Your gift is not proven by attention. Your gift is proven by service. Your gift is not validated by fame. Your gift is validated by fruit. If people are helped, if problems are solved, if lives are strengthened, if order is created, if truth is released, if needs are met, then your gift is working. So from today, stop asking only where can I get paid. Ask where can I be deployed. Payment may come, but deployment must lead. Money is a reward. Service is the reason. Your job may pay you, but your gift explains you. Your job may introduce you, but your gift distinguishes you. Your job may sustain you for a season, but your gift is the river through which your work flows. There is something in you that somebody needs. There is a capacity in you that answers a cry in the earth. There is a burden in you that is connected to a problem. There is a gift in you that must not die in a cubicle, a warehouse, a classroom, an office, a factory, or a fear-filled heart. Your work begins where your God-given gift meets a human need. Find the gift, find the need, then begin to serve. Now, let me bring some wisdom to this, because revelation without discipline can become dangerous. When you discover your work, that does not always mean you walk into your office tomorrow morning, throw your badge on the desk, and say, I am called by God, I quit. No. That may not be faith. That may be foolishness with spiritual language. Please write this down. Do not quit recklessly. Convert employment into preparation. Very important. Your job may not be your destiny, but it can train you for your destiny. Your job may not be your final assignment, but it can fund your preparation, sharpen your character, expose you to problems, develop your skills, and connect you to relationships that your future will need. A job can be a classroom for purpose when you refuse to let it become your prison. The problem is not always the job. Sometimes the problem is that you made the job your identity. You let the company tell you who you are. You let the title tell you your value. You let the paycheck measure your worth. So when the job frustrates you, your whole life collapses. Why? Because you confuse temporary employment with eternal assignment. Tell your neighbor, this place is not my identity. Come on, tell them, this place is not my identity. Now say it properly. This place is my temporary employment, but it is not the definition of my life. That is wisdom. You can work there with excellence and still know you are more than there. You can respect the position and refuse to worship it. You can honor the company and refuse to let it own your soul. Some of you are angry at a job that God is using as a school. You are learning how systems operate. You are learning how people behave under pressure. You are learning what poor leadership does to morale. You are learning what excellence requires. You are learning what customers need. You are learning what problems nobody is solving. Do you know that the problem you keep complaining about may be the business you are supposed to build? The weakness you see in that industry may be the place your gift is being trained to serve. Do not waste frustration. Study it. Frustration can become information if you stop reacting and start observing. Ask yourself, what is this environment teaching me? What problem is being revealed? What skill do I need to develop? What discipline am I lacking? What relationship should I honor? What pattern should I never repeat when I am given responsibility? This is how mature people think. Immature people only say, I hate this job. Mature people say, Lord, what are you teaching me in this season? You see, emotional quitting can destroy the platform God was using to prepare you. Some people leave because they are offended, not because they are assigned. They resign because somebody corrected them. They walk away because they were overlooked. They quit because Monday morning hurt their feelings. But if you cannot survive correction and preparation, you may not survive pressure in purpose. Purpose does not remove discipline. Purpose increases discipline. David was anointed king, but he went back to the sheep. Joseph had a dream, but he still served in Potiphar's house and in prison. Jesus knew he was the Son, but he spent years in obscurity before public ministry. Do not despise hidden preparation. Anointing does not cancel process. A gift does not excuse disorder. A dream does not replace diligence. So while you are employed, learn. While you are paid, prepare. While you are waiting, build. Use the salary to fund the course. Buy the books. Pay for the tools. Start the prototype. Register the idea. Serve the community. Study the problem. Do not spend everything trying to look successful while your assignment remains undeveloped. That paycheck may be seed for your future, not just fuel for your lifestyle. And serve with excellence. Do you hear me? Do not become lazy because you discovered purpose. Do not become dishonorable because you know the job is temporary. If they are paying you for 8 hours, give them 8 hours of honest work. If you sign the agreement, honor the agreement. Excellence is not for your boss first. Excellence is for your character. You are not working as a slave to a company. You are being trained as a steward before God. But while you serve with excellence, refuse to be buried. Do not let overtime kill the gift. Do not let comfort sedate the dream. Do not let benefits become chains around your obedience. Go home and write. Go home and study. Go home and practice. Go home and plan. Get up early. Stay disciplined. Build quietly. Serve somebody. Test the gift. Develop evidence. Let your work grow before your emotions make announcements your wisdom cannot sustain. There is a time to leave. Yes. There is a time when the classroom is finished. There is a time when God opens the door and says, now move. But do not move because you are irritated. Move because you are prepared. Do not move because you are escaping pain. Move because you are obeying purpose. There is a difference. So from today, stop saying this job is killing me and start saying this job is training me until my work is ready. Stop saying I am stuck and start asking, what must I learn before I leave? Stop saying they do not see me and start developing what God put in you until your gift makes room. Your job can be temporary employment. Let it be temporary, but make it productive. Let it teach you discipline, Fund your preparation, sharpen your skill, expose the need, and strengthen your character. Serve with excellence, but do not surrender your identity. Work faithfully where you are while preparing diligently for what you were born to do. Now take the revelation and make it practical. Purpose that stays in your emotions will not deliver you. Purpose that only makes you cry, shout, clap, and feel inspired is still unemployed. Please write this down. Purpose becomes practical when it is written, studied, developed, scheduled, and served. Do not tell me you are called and you have no paper. Do not tell me God showed you something and you have no notes. Do not tell me you are preparing to resign and you cannot explain what you are resigning into. That is dangerous. If God gave you a burden, write it. If he showed you a people, write them down. If he gave you an idea, write it before distraction steals it. Undocumented purpose remains vague, and vague purpose is vulnerable to every emergency, every mood, every invitation, every trend, and every fear. Your mind was not designed to be the storage room for your destiny. Put it on paper, make it visible, make it reviewable, make it accountable. When you write, you force the unseen to become clear. When you write, you separate excitement from instruction. When you write, you discover whether you have a burden or just a complaint. So before you resign from the job, write the work. Sit down and create what I call a purpose inventory. Number one, write your gifts. What do you do naturally? What do people keep asking you to help them with? What comes out of you with grace? Number two, write your burdens. What pain bothers you? What problem will not leave you alone? What makes you say somebody should do something about this? And maybe God is saying that somebody is you. Number three, write your skills. Not just your gift, your skills. What have you learned? What can you build? What can you organize? What can you teach? What can you repair? What can you manage? What can you communicate? Your gift is from God, but skill is your responsibility. A gifted fool is still dangerous. A gifted lazy person is still unprepared. Develop the gift until it can serve with excellence. Number four, write your recurring ideas. What keeps coming back? What have you been thinking about for years? What idea visits you in the shower, in traffic, at lunch, late at night? Do not despise repetition. Sometimes repetition is God knocking on your memory. Number five, write the people you believe you are called to serve. Children, single mothers, business owners, young men, the poor, leaders, artists, students, families, prisoners, the sick, the confused, the discouraged. Purpose is always connected to people. If you cannot identify who benefits, you have not clarified the work. Number six, write the problems you are built to solve. This is very important. You are not sent to everybody, and you are not sent to everything. You are sent to a problem with a gift. When your gift meets the right problem, work begins. When your gift meets the wrong environment, frustration increases. So write it down. What problem was I designed to answer? Then take the next 30 days and obey what you wrote. Not 30 days of fantasy, 30 days of discipline. In the first week, study the field, read, research, listen, learn the language. Find out who is already serving there. Find out what the real need is, not just what you assumed. In the second week, serve somebody with the gift. Do not wait for a platform. Help one person. Teach one person. Encourage one person. Build one solution. Offer 1 hour. Purpose grows through service, not imagination alone. In the third week, build one small expression of the work. Not the whole vision. One expression. Write the article. Record the lesson. Design the sample. Start the outline. Create the plan. Make the call. Build the prototype. Visit the community. Organize the first meeting. Stop waiting for perfect conditions. The seed does not become a tree until it enters the ground. In the fourth week, seek wise counsel. Not everybody's opinion. Wise counsel. Find someone with fruit, discipline, character, and understanding. Let them examine what you wrote. Let them challenge your assumptions. Let them ask you hard questions. Do not be so spiritual that you cannot be corrected. Purpose needs humility. A vision that cannot be questioned, cannot be trusted. And put it on your schedule. If purpose is not on your calendar, it is only a wish. You schedule work, you schedule bills, you schedule appointments, schedule the gift, give it time, give it study, give it attention, give it discipline. 1 hour a day can resurrect what? 10 years of neglect buried. 30 minutes of consistent obedience can do more than 5 hours of emotional dreaming once a month. Some of you do not need to quit yet. You need to write. You need to study. You need to practice. You need to serve. You need to build evidence that your gift is becoming useful. Do not ask the world to finance confusion. Clarify the assignment. Develop the capacity. Serve the need. Let your gift produce fruit before you demand a harvest. And if you are watching this, I want you to make a declaration. Put it where you can see it. Say, my gift is not buried, it is being deployed. Write it in the comments if you need to make it public. My gift is not buried, it is being deployed. Not wasted, not dead, not too late, not trapped forever in a job, being deployed. But declaration without discipline is noise. So after you say it, serve it. After you write it, schedule it. After you believe it, obey it. Purpose becomes practical when you put what God showed you on paper and begin serving it with discipline. Your job may still pay you tomorrow, but tonight your work must receive your obedience. So now we come to the commission. You must never forget what God has shown you. Your job is not your work. Your pay is not your purpose. Your employment is not your identity. Your survival is not your assignment. Write that down, please. Survival is not assignment. A salary can keep you alive, but it cannot tell you why you are alive. A company can use your skill, but it cannot define your destiny. A position can give you responsibility, but only purpose can give you meaning. This is why you must stop measuring life only by what you earn. Money is necessary, yes. Bills are real, yes. Responsibility is honorable, yes. But you were not sent to earth merely to pay bills until you die. That is too small for a being made in the image of God. You were sent with something to finish. You were sent with a work to complete. You were sent with a gift to serve your generation. The Apostle Paul did not come to the end of his life and say, I have made enough money. He did not say, I had a good job. He did not say, I impressed important people. He said, I have finished my course. He understood that life is not complete when you are comfortable. Life is complete when the assignment is fulfilled. He was not celebrating survival. He was celebrating completion. Please hear me carefully. You are not finished when you are paid. You are finished when the gift God placed in you has served this generation. You are not finished because you have benefits. You are not finished because you have a title. You are not finished because people know your name. You are finished when heaven can say, what I sent you to release, you release. What I put in you, you poured out. What I assigned to you, you completed. There are books still trapped in some of you. There are businesses still trapped in you. There are schools, ministries, solutions, songs, systems, inventions, programs, homes, movements, and answers still locked inside you. And the tragedy is not that you do not have them. The tragedy is that you may live your whole life being paid by something else while never deploying what God placed in you. Tell your neighbor, there is more in me. Come on, say it properly. There is more in me. Not for pride, not for ego, not for fame. There is more in me for service. There is more in me for people. There is more in me for my generation. There is more in me for God's name. Somebody is waiting for what you keep postponing. Somebody needs the clarity you are afraid to write. Somebody needs the business you are afraid to start. Somebody needs the ministry you keep calling a burden. Somebody needs the system you keep seeing in your mind. Somebody needs the song you keep singing in private. Somebody needs the school you keep imagining. Somebody needs the solution that your frustration has been pointing to for. So this week I challenge you, stop asking only, how do I make a living? Begin asking, what did God send me to make live? What dream is supposed to live in because I obey? What people are supposed to live stronger because I serve? What idea is supposed to live because I write it? What solution is supposed to live because I stop hiding? What future is supposed to live because I discipline my gift? Do not leave this teaching inspired and unchanged. Inspiration without obedience is wasted emotion. Go home and write. Go home and pray. Go home and schedule. Go home and serve. Take one step this week that proves you believe God placed something in you. Not someday, this week. Not when everything is perfect, this week. Not when everybody agrees, this week. And if you are still in the job, be faithful, but do not be buried. If you are still being paid, be excellent, but do not confuse payment with purpose. If you are tired, ask God for strength. If you are afraid, obey anyway. If you are unclear, start writing until clarity comes. The manufacturer does not create products without purpose. You came with design. You came with capacity. You came with assignment. You came with work. Lift your thinking above survival. You were not sent here just to eat, sleep, work, pay bills, and die. You were sent to finish the course, finish the work, finish the assignment. Let the gift serve. Let the burden become action. Let the dream become discipline. Let what God finished in eternity be released through your life in time. If this teaching is helping you realign your life with kingdom purpose, subscribe so we can continue walking through these principles together. Share this video with someone who is buried under a job and needs to remember that employment is not identity. And in the comments, write the truth you will live out this week according to God's original purpose for your life. Not just what you feel, what you will obey. Because your generation is waiting, and heaven is not asking whether you survive. Heaven is asking whether you finish.